up next is that all-important conversation about the match. Later today, 4 p.m., Ghana goes up against Guinea-Bissau. Mama V is going to bring together all the football brains you could possibly need in one conversation, and they will definitely get to the bottom of what we can expect later today. Now, one of you watching us as one of our biggest and most avid fans, I've received a message that you're watching us right now. Jennifer Azubire Aganda, you watch us all the time. We appreciate you very, very much. Keep watching. Thank you so much. Coming up next, Mama B and the Black Stars. Stay tuned.
So later today, it's a make or break game for the Black Stars. It's a win or come home situation for Kwesi men who badly need a win to secure qualification to the next stage of the competition. What are our chances? What's your own opinion on this? You know, we'll activate the phone lines a bit later on so you can join us. But let's straight away tell you that we'll link up with Benedict Akwesi Dankwa, who is in Suez in Egypt. That's the destination where the Black Stars will be playing their final game. Hello there, Benedict. I can see you. What's the mood this morning? You're 2 hours ahead of us.
Exactly, we are 2 hours away from you. I cannot see you, but I can hear you loud and clear. I hope you're good.
Okay, Benedict, I was asking about the mood in the camp ahead of our game later today.
Oh, okay. Well, in terms of the mood, I mean, it's one that they are very charged in terms of the players. And one that they know very well that going into tonight's game, the only thing that will save us or take us through to the next stage is to get a win. A win, of course, will seal qualification. If we're able to win that game, we wouldn't have to rely on the game between Benin and Cameroon because, I mean, after results coming through yesterday, what it means is that Ghana can still go through to the next stage of the competition, even if we draw tonight's game. But at least to be on the safer side, we need to get a win. And the boys are very much aware of that. They know the stakes, they know what is at stake, they know what they have to do. And yesterday's training gave me an idea of how well they are very much aware of everything that is going on in the minds of people back home and the fans that are here. And for them themselves, they know that, I mean, it is non-negotiable to go into this game and not get a win because that's the only thing that will save us and will not rely on results in a game between Cameroon and Benin. So on the basis of that, they are very much ready and they are very charged for the game. Where we are is where they are lodging and all of them are sleeping, you know, because normally on match days they don't train. What they do on match days is in the mornings they have a little shake-up, and what it also does to the players is, you know, normally in the mornings what they do is the breakfast is optional. So if you want to go and have breakfast, you can. If you don't want to, you can also be in your room and have some good rest for the game later tonight. So they are very ready. Yesterday, after the training, they did their usual Jama session, which all the management members as well as those that were around joined. They prayed together, and you could see that everything that they've been doing so far after our game against Cameroon is towards getting us a win in tonight's game.
It's interesting, Benedict, that you say that the management members join in the Jama session. We're going to feast on that a bit. But Benedict, you are with us throughout the conversation, so jump in anytime when you want to. But let me introduce to you my guest in studio, Rosalind Amoy's a sports journalist with the Graphic Group Communications Limited. Thank you very much for your time this morning. And our own Redwan Ibrahim Asante is here as well. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's build up from where Benedict ended. So it looks like, at least in the camp, they understand that this is definitely a must win. With the management joining in the Jama, I don't know how we are supposed to take that.
Well, I think that's they always know that every game is a must win if you need to progress and send the signals clear to your opponents that you are here to win. And after drawing against Benin in the opening game, they knew that they had chosen a more arduous task to qualify, because then it means that you need to pick the maximum points, at least a point from each of the remaining games. So for me, I mean, it's a duty that they have to fulfill. I mean, you cannot just say that you don't understand the dynamics of what you have done. It's unfortunate that every time, most of the times when we go to our competitions, we find ourselves, my brother will say, bringing out the calculators to calculate our chances and give out all the permutations. It is, I mean, they have their fate in their hands. It is not one that can say that, look, even a draw, for me, a draw may not be enough, because you don't know. It is only 4 teams who have the best points from the third group in the various group stages that will qualify to join the top 2 for the round of 16. So if you have 2 points and you have 3 games, yes, you've not lost a match, but there are people who have won and have 4 points. If there are 3-4 points teams, they will go ahead of you. So for me, it is not a draw. I don't even feel comfortable asking them to draw. What they need to do is that they need to win. At least yesterday, Cote d'Ivoire proved that they have what it takes, because they had been sluggish in the opening 2 games. But when they came up, eventually, they had 4 goals against Namibia, and that is it. They didn't play a very convincing game, but they had the goals, which was more important. So it helped them retain their second position in the group. Are the Black Stars capable of doing that? Yes, I think that this perennial, we are slow starters, has become part of our national psyche, that every national team that travels starts on a very bad note. Those who start on a very high note eventually, I mean, go retrogresses. But as they go, they did, I mean, it wasn't impressive against Benin. They picked up against Cameroon. And so we are hoping, but if football follows logic, they are in for a big trouble, because, I mean, we drew against Benin. The Guinea-Bissau people also drew against Benin. So they would have to give up their best. And I don't think that, I mean, they need to relax. For me, they have to go all out.
Okay, Redman, can you answer the question that Rosalind asked? Was it a question or maybe a rhetorical one? Are they capable of winning this game?
First and foremost, I would like to say good morning to my constituents. I don't often get the opportunity to appear on television, so when I'm on, to all of them, to the foot soldiers, those doing the grassroots politics.
Seriously?
Yes, and 3 constituencies that I'm capable of standing. Okay. If I mention them, you know which party.
Yes. Let's talk about the
good
football.
Morning to everyone watching us here on JoyNews. It's also a privilege to be on the same show with Rosalind, call her Auntie Rosalind, where because of her intellect, we don't get to celebrate her, but she's one of the deep writers we have around. You know, she's a library. You know, in terms, yes,
I should be interacting with her more often then.
You should. She's a library. Trust me, one of the best we have in the country. Back to the question whether we can win. I think we can win.
Wait, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Will we win?
We should win. we should win. We can qualify with a draw. We can qualify with a draw. That's if only Cameroon defeats Benin. Then Cameroon will be on 7 points, and then we'll be on 3 points. So with 3 points as runners-up, we can qualify.
Drawing with 3 points.
Yeah, we can qualify. But what it does to your campaign is that you don't have the best of confidence going into the next game. You're playing against Nigeria. When we finish in 2nd place, then automatically we are going to face Nigeria, you know, for that round of 16. And it's a derby, a West African derby. Nigeria themselves have been poor at the tournament, but you don't want to play your sworn rival at this stage of the competition. You know, it's very, very close. You know, we've played them. I remember in 2010, we had to play them we finished 2nd, and we had to play them in the quarterfinals. That was when it was 16 teams, and Asamoah Gyan delivered, you know, that Coupe de Grace.
But if we don't meet Nigeria, isn't the other worse for us?
No,
because of the kind of form that we find ourselves.
Depending on your opponent, I think by now everybody wants to avoid Algeria because of the sort of football they are playing. Yesterday, they fielded a 2nd-string team, and Slimani, who is on the bench all this while, has scored 2 goals. The top scorer of the tournament has also got 2 goals, if my memory serves me right, because nobody has scored more.
And so if you have those on the bench, second string players, coming on to put up such performance, it gives hope to the entire contingent that we are capable of getting, you know, the ultimate if only we remain focused and there's that, you know, esprit de corps in camp. We are not getting, I'm not seeing it, but there's a drain. There's something wrong with the national team now.
Yeah.
There's a drain. I think there are so many homework we have to do right from the start. Like, let's have transparency from home. Everybody knows what is happening. Appearance fee, we're reducing it. There's bonuses, so that there's support from everybody, and we go into the tournament.
I'm surprised you're sounding this way today, because you're one of those who didn't think that we should even know the budgets.
No, I'm saying we shouldn't know the budget.
We shouldn't know the budget, but now you're talking about transparency.
Yeah, we shouldn't know the budget because others thought it wasn't necessary to know the budget, and we were in the minority. So when the majority have now, you know, are now preaching or evangelizing the same thing, then we have to support them.
Rosalind, is there something wrong with our camp? Because a lot of people said prior to this tournament, even the coach saying that he's had the best, this was the best team when they went to Dubai. A lot of people saying, oh, they did well, things are okay, they seem okay and everything. And then we're here and we're talking about they having some kind of baggage.
From where I sit, I still say that, look, what they are putting up is a facade. I mean, naturally, when there is a good atmosphere, there is good camaraderie in camp, you would feel it. It's spontaneous. I haven't been with the team. Those who have been are trying to portray that picture. But you see it in the body language of the players. It's not coming out naturally. But when somebody is on a very good relationship, on a good rapport with the person, you feel the vibe. On the pitch, I haven't felt it. I mean, for somebody who has been covering and watching them, I haven't felt that vibe. I may be wrong. For me, it doesn't matter. What is most important is that they should know that after all that they've been through, after all that have been said, it is for them to prove everybody wrong. It is not for me. I mean, I have always maintained that, look, there are people who work for Ghana. They go abroad to work for Ghana. They are paid by the Ghana government. Nobody knows how much they earn. Nobody knows the budget they travel with. But unfortunately, because of what we have done in the past with the Black Stars, now everybody thinks that it is our business to know. That shouldn't be. I mean, those leading now have realized that we don't need to expose it. But for those stakeholders, they are aware. I mean, we know that they've been given promises, their bonuses have been revised upwards and all that, but nobody is talking and telling us anything. So for them to realize that instead of talks wagging, they should deliver on the pitch to justify whatever agreement they have gone in with the stakeholders, the management, presidency and all that, because once the presidency have come in, then they should know. Because now it is only football that will seem to unite us. I mean, at the moment, if you look at how porous everybody, the situation is, it is football. So if we can't even get that unity and support from the footballers, then we are doomed. I mean, everybody would be so agitated. So they should do it. I mean, it's been proved that they can do it. In 2010, 2015, they went and we didn't have that much confidence in the team. And yes, they delivered. For me, it is for Kwesi Appiah to get it right with the selection. Okay. Who is going to select to start the game so that they can deliver.
Let me wrap up with Benedict, because Benedict, I understand you have to go. You have some interviews, but following what's been happening in terms of the people who have been training, how do you think the lineup is going to shape up?
Well, yesterday, Jonathan Mensah, who picked up an injury in the last game, was made to train alone with a physiotherapist. So he would have to pass a late fitness test to be included in the starting lineup. You know, Kasim Nuhu will not be available for this game after those 2 yellow cards in a game against Benin and then Cameroon. So on the basis of that, he's not available. Jonathan would have to pass a late fitness test. So we are likely to have John Boy and Joseph Edu at centre back. And then Richard Ofoyi also picked up a knock in a game against Cameroon, but he trained yesterday. So of course, if he's fit, he definitely will be in post. And Andy Adom, who for me has been one of our best players. If you are talking about 3 of our players that have performed so well in the tournament. There's no way you will mention the names of those players and will not include Andy Adam. So of course he also, I suspect him to still, keep his right back position. And then Baba Aman, who is celebrating his birthday today, is likely to play ahead of Lumo Agbenyono at left back. I've already talked about if Jonathan Mensah is unable to pass the lead fitness test, then we'll have the centre back of John Boy and then Joseph Edu. Mubarak Wakasu will maintain his holding role, the role that we've seen him play in the last 2 games against Benin and then Cameroon. We'll have Thomas Partey. In the last game, Kuja Samoa was deployed at the left side of attack. This time, it looks like Kuja Samoa will play in the midfield, a more offensive role with Thomas Partey, and then we'll have Andrea Yu play on the right side of the wing, and then Samuel Owusu will come in because Christian Achu picked up an injury yesterday. He didn't train, and I even understand that he will leave camp for the UK to undergo further tests, and then we'll have Jordan Ayew play as the lone striker. So on the basis of yesterday's training and with the injury update in camp, I suspect Coach Kwesi Appiah, who yesterday at the press conference mentioned that we'll not see too many changes from the team that played in the last game, is likely to go with the starting lineup. Okay, so Asamoah Gyan is not likely to start. Well, yesterday we asked him about Asamoah Gyan at the press conference, that when Gyan came on in the last game, he played very well as Kwabena Owusu. He talked about how no one believed in Asamoah. He talked about he's the one who has believed in Asamoah Gyan more than anyone, and that for him, he selects his players based on what they do at training. And he feels that Asamoah Gyan, yes, has performed very well at training, but of course, Jordan, with his current form for the team in this tournament and what he has shown at training, Jordan definitely will start, but we should expect Asamoah Gyan to come on way earlier than what he did in the last game. Kwabena Owusu, also he talked about how Kwabena Owusu has been great and that he played very well in the last game, but he's one of the young boys coming up, and that we need to, gradually build his confidence. And so those 2 players, Asamoah Gyan and Kwabena Owusu, we are likely to see them play a part in tonight's game, but not sure any of them will start. But possibly, maybe they will come on earlier than they did in the last game.
Benedict, are they following the conversations back home? Because we're not happy, really, with their play and the fact that they haven't won any games.
They are. I mean, Thomas Partey, all the other guys, and Thomas Partey, I had an interview with him, and everything that he said in that interview informed everything that he's been reading on the internet. People have criticized him for not giving his best. At a point, he even mentioned in the interview that he saw a comment where someone had stated that, do we have a different Thomas Partey who plays at Atletico Madrid and a different Partey for the Black Stars? And he felt that, yes, everything that is going on in terms of the criticism, the comments on social media, is a true reflection of everything that he's been doing here. And he admits that he's not been at his best at this tournament. And hopefully from tonight, he will play, he will give everything in him. And the person, and he actually referred to that message and said, the person who asked if I am the same person at Atletico Madrid, a different person at Ghana will see that person at Atletico Madrid tonight. So all the players have been following the conversation. They know very well that Ghanaians are not too happy with their performances so far. And of course, it's something that, will inform whatever they're going to do in tonight's game. And I want to believe that they will definitely change the mindset and put up a very good performance and, of course, get us a win.
Benedict, you are much closer. Are they gelling? Rosalind said something a bit earlier. Do you see them, or are they just putting up appearances when they know that they're on the pitch and the cameras are on them? Or there's actually like a good relationship, they know what they're doing and they're relating well with each other?
The relationship between the players is that of a very cordial one. I mean, they are professionals. You don't have to be friends to deliver. But what I can tell you, being with them from Dubai up to this point, is that these group of players are very okay with each other. Yes, the game against Cameroon, after Kwabena Owusu flagged that ball when Jordan was angry. In the dressing room when they came out, Jordan was actually working with Kwabena Owusu. And yesterday at the training grounds, I asked Jordan how he reacted I mean, the cameras captured him, and he looked very furious. He said, yeah, it is normal. It is normal that, you know, you feel that way when you feel you're in a very good position for your colleague to give you the ball to score, and then he didn't do that. But, of course, he wouldn't blame him, because at that point he felt he's also a striker, and the adrenaline and everything that was running through Kwabena Owusu, if he were to be in Kwabena Owusu's position, he would have done same. But he thought that at that point he was in a very good position. But they are very cool. I saw them after the game. They were very cool at training as well. I don't know if you saw the video that I posted earlier, the video that I sent of Andrea Yu and Asamoah Gyan in a very friendly contest yesterday before their tactical session, before the physical, you know, session with Paul Maxwell. Jan and Andre were in this friendly contest where all the cameras around captured, and it was very nice. All the players, to tell you, are very cool. On the pitch at training, if one should go down, all of them will stop the training and will move to the player and check what is wrong with him, and will even call the doctors. I remember one of their training sessions before our game against Cameroon, Samuel Owusu went down, and then all the players started shouting, "Doctor, doctor," you understand? I mean, so they all care for each other. You understand that our collective aim is to win the trophy. It's not about Asamoah Gyan, it's not about Andrea Yu, it's not about any player, but it's about Ghana. And of course, there's something that they've been saying consistently. They always say that, you know what, if we win the trophy, it's not you that your name will be written in the history books of Ghana. It will be Andrea Yu, who captained the team to finally end the country's long wait for the title. It will be Coach Kwesi Appiah, who became the first coach to win Ghana's first title since 1982. You understand? So they understand this thing, and they are putting away their personalities of possibly maybe this person is not my friend, I don't relate well with this guy. So they are all one, and they want to get us what we've all been yearning for all these years.
Okay, thank you very much, Benedict. Thanks for joining us. We understand you have to go now, so we wish you well with the rest of what you have to do. But let's come back in the studio. Benedict has given us a fair idea, but that doesn't surprise you, does it?
Not at all. I mean, yesterday we also got information that Jonathan is unlikely to start because he was made to train alone. I don't think Richard Ofori will be substituted. Usually you don't, the Nigerians have shown that if you keep changing your winning team, you break the confidence and you allow the opponents to say that, look, you don't even know what you want to do. So I don't think Kwesi Appiah would change so much the lineup. Edu is good. I think that Edu and Boy, for me, the psychologist would have to work so much on John Boy, because he comes in with this thing at the back of his mind that now I have to be cautious not to attract even a yellow card. So they would have to work on him so that he can give off his 100%. Rahman, I am not surprised that he's still there. And I think that it's also good for them to have Andy Yadom on the left. For me, what I would want to, I think that for the formation he may be playing, I would love to see Partey just behind the attackers. Instead of, so for me, I would have rather loved to see Wakasu and Efi Yakwa. I don't know. There's something about Kudra Samoa that doesn't sit well with me. I would prefer to have, because of what we are likely to encounter, it's going to be a physical game. Efi Yakwa has that grit, and he plays. At least we've seen of him. He and Wakasu are able to partner well in the middle, and then Partey will play just behind, because that is the role he needs to play, so that he can actually supply and feed the attackers with
what is wrong with Thomas Partey? I mean, he's supposed to be a world-class player.
I mean, sometimes people go into tournaments and they don't have a very good tournament. It's always like that. He probably didn't have a good start, and it's continuing. It is for the psychologist to work on them. That is why now the national team travels with the psychologist. He would have to work on them and tell them that, look. And also, for me, I think that they should step away from being on social media and reading what people are saying about them, because no matter what you do, people will talk about it. But if you take it in, it affects you psychologically. So even when you are on the pitch, you're already thinking of what somebody is going to say, how people are going to judge you, whether you do well or you do badly. So for me, I think that it's a psychological thing. They should just get away from it. I would also love to see why, I would prefer Asamoah Gyan started. Because he commands respect. We saw it against Cameroon. he commands respect, he's good. Rather start him when he's tired. You bring in a more youthful person to come and continue from where he's leaving off. But if the harm is already done and you don't get the desired results and you bring him in, you are putting too much pressure on him. So for me, I think that I would rather have started Asamoah Gyan for him to do whatever. I mean, it's not always that he has to be the savior where he scores late in the game to get us the desired results. We should also give him the try to rather make things easier and comfortable for everybody. Otherwise, I mean, the Ivorians, they had kept Zaha on the pitch, on the bench. But yesterday when he came in, we saw what he brought to the game. Most of the 3 goals they scored were all, he had a role to play in all of it. So for me, I think that he should give him a try. If for nothing at all, if you intend to use him in the knockout stages, get him match ready for it. Put him in that game. Psychologically, when you are not getting that desired results, then you withdraw him and bring somebody in. Otherwise, I think that it's quite, I mean, given what he has now, it's okay. I would also love to see Caleb. Why is he keeping Caleb? At least in 2 games, he's got 2 goals. So why is he keeping him?
Redwan, Kwesi Appiah made it clear he is the one who is in charge. He picks his players based on the performance that they put up during training.
And he also gets sacked alone when the team doesn't perform. That's it with the coaching. That's why I normally do not want to go into which player should start. I don't know why everybody in Ghana is thinking Efe should be in that midfield role. Maybe they are right.
You think otherwise?
No, I don't think otherwise. But I'm just looking at the questions. Why is Efe being propped for that role? Why do people feel that Partey should be playing in that offensive role? I don't know. But people have watched over the years and they feel their contribution should be taken into consideration by the coach. But the coach thinks otherwise. We all, and I think everybody I speak to, maybe because results are not going, the way of the Black Stars, everybody feels that Asamoah Gyan can contribute something as a starter, not or even coming on early. And Rosalind has given a nice explanation why she will field Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah.
I will start him when he gets tired. Then I bring on
a more youthful person,
an energetic person to come and play. So it's 50-50. I mean, it's who takes the decision. Obviously, it's the coach who takes the decision. And why you ask the question why Partey has not played? You see, at tournaments, I've realized that with my experience with national teams, I've realized that players go into tournaments with their personal ambitions. Players go into tournaments like that. For some, this is to up their bid or their stake and prove their coach at club level wrong. For some, they come in very, very content. They have nothing to lose.
Did you get the feeling he came in as a celebrity, a man who plays?
I don't want to think for him.
On huge platforms.
If I had chat with Partey, if we were friends, I would have told you what I was going to tell him. I'm friends with Kojo Asamoah. I'm friends with Efe. So when I'm going to talk with the rest of the players, I'm going to talk based on my conversations with them.
Okay.
And like Kwesi Appiah, I know what he's thinking, and so I'll leave him to take the decisions. When he wins, I praise him. When he loses, then he takes the flak.
Well, I don't know any of the players. I have not had any personal.
No, I can link
but I've heard people say, I don't need you to link me, thank you. I've heard people say, Partey or too known,
No,
like he comes with this thing.
Psychologically, he's the only player now who is playing at the top level. He's playing for the 3rd best team in Spain. He's playing in the championship, the European Champions League. He's playing even in the Europa. He's playing in the Super Cup. He's now regular. He started slowly, but now a regular in Atletico Madrid. And they are one of the big boys now in Europe. He comes in with that reputation, and he's not alone. When ACN was there, we showed it. But what they did, the difference between the players like Stephen Appiah and Muntaris and Partey is when they came to the national team, they stamped their authorities and they made us know the sort of big name players that they are. But nonetheless, we've seen players play very, very well in Europe or whatever their club level, and then when they come to the national team, they fail to live up to expectation. And we are seeing it, at the tournament. Some players have come and haven't performed. Some players who have lost their positions at club level are doing very, very well. Like Belai from Algeria, Ismail Benassa of Algeria, they're all putting in impressive shifts. Some have maintained their performance. So let's give it to them. Partey will have to recycle himself and stop thinking about comments people are making. Like Benedict said, people said I should do this. I'm not the same player. There's a difference between. The point is, he's underperforming.
He knows it, which is a good thing. But we want to bring you a wrap of the Black Stars' journey so far in this particular tournament. Here's Henry Kwesi Bedu's report read to you.
The journey so far has been full of pain and anguish for many fans. The Black Stars, surprisingly, have failed to win after 2 games at the group stage. The disappointment of Ghanaians soared after the goalless draw last week with the indomitable Lions of Cameroon.
I'm just praying they go on, play very, very well, because the recent ones wasn't really good. Kind of like they just went there to play or something. My hope for them, it has become too small, because the way I had morale for them, it has really reduced, seriously.
Coach Kwesi Appiah, however, described the performance as satisfactory and an improvement on the team's opening game against Benin. The Black Stars of Ghana will lock horns with the Jilters of Guinea-Bissau in a make-or-break game. The outcome will either send the Stars packing or book their place at the next stage of the tournament. The struggling Guinea-Bissau team is also yet to win a match at this year's AFCON. Ghanaians back home are, however, optimistic of a win.
We're expecting the best from them too, because the only thing we need to do for them is to show them love and then support. You shouldn't discourage them. When you do that, you are bringing down their spirits.
We will definitely win. I'm very confident about that they are going to qualify. At least 2-0 will do. I'm predicting the day you will score a goal, and then maybe Kojo Samoa or Thomas Partey will also score.
Ghana and Guinea-Bissau's match is the determination for us to know whether we'll make it to the next level or not. So it's a win match. Whatever it is, we expect Black Stars to make a good use of tomorrow's match and then make a good goals for us to be able to make it to the, is it 1/18th or whatever it is.
The way they played the last game, I think actually they're going to make a win tomorrow.
Expecting 2 goals from the DIU and the brother.
I know Ghana will play well. If you will score about 2 goals, it shall be okay for us.
Oh, I expect Ghana to win to qualify to the next stage.
Winger Christian Atsu is a major doubt for the game. This was revealed at the pre-match media engagement.
Japan has returned to training to join the group. Christian Atsu, coach, has indicated, he did say so during the pre-match, that Christian Atsu would not be available for selection in our game against Guinea-Bissau.
A second place finish for the Black Stars will set up an epic clash with rivals Nigeria. But in the case Ghana draws with Guinea-Bissau, the Black Stars will face Morocco or Egypt. In Ghana's last triumph at the 1982 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, the team drew in its first 2 games and went on to lift the trophy. Coincidentally, the second game was a scoreless draw with Cameroon. Just maybe, history might be repeating itself. Henry Kwesi Bedu's report for JoyNews.
Ghana all the way. Hey, Ghana, say yeah. Ghana, say yeah. Ghana. Ghana. Yeah.
So that's Henry Kwesi Bedu's report read to you there. Is the journey so far, the disappointment, the heartbreaks, even a draw feels like a loss to some of us, and we don't know what would this do to the nation, because we have huge expectations. Everybody was talking about these days. We're not mentioning the trophy so much because we have to make it past, get into the round of 16 before we can even begin to dream about a trophy.
No, we can win the trophy even with that checkered performance we've seen, the performances we've seen so far. It doesn't affect our chances, provided we can march on and move match after match.
I've watched other teams play. I mean, you look at Egypt's play.
It doesn't matter.
You look at Algeria. You talked about
the European Championship that Portugal won. You know, they were very, very poor. You know, but it happens. It's one-off. You know, it doesn't happen often. It's rare. We've seen Greece also not be, they didn't play the sort of impeccable football you see from a host nation, but they shocked all. They shocked France, and they shocked the host nation, Portugal, in the final in Euro 2004 to win that tournament, you know, in Greece, and that was a huge shock. But we've also seen the Black Stars being poor. In 84 was the 84 debacle in Boaké. In 94 was another disaster in Tunis. In 2004, we didn't qualify. And in Mali, we were just like this. We were poor like this. There was problems. Kufuor was sent home. Kofi Amponsa had issues. You know, Olele, we were struggling to score goals. We didn't play with any embroidery. We were just, you know, nondescript, ordinary. You know, our performances were beige, just like how we're seeing now. And it gives, for some of us who followed for a very long time, there's a sense of deja vu. We might, but this is 24 teams. 24 teams, so, well, maybe we can qualify as one of the best, you know, 4 third place teams, and we'll be through to the next stage. But how far can we go? 6 groups. Yes, 6 groups. So 2 is 12, and then 4 will join. That's the third place. 4 of them will join to make it 16 to the last.
Yeah, but the best we've done is a 2-2 draw.
Oh, 2-2 draw. Yeah. So I'm saying that even if we draw and Cameroon beats Benin, we'll qualify as the second best in our group, and we're going to meet Nigeria.
But interestingly, you'll be the team that has the least number of points to have qualified as the second from your group. And that should tell them, I mean, somebody will say Black Stars is not a small name. To just quote my grandmother, whose translation, Black Stars is not a small team that when you go, you should go and put up small performances. Huge expectations, not just because of their pedigree, but also the players who are on the pitch and representing now. Some of them have come as far as winning the 2009 Under-20 Youth Championship, and they have progressed. So for me, it is for them to continue from where they left off. Somebody said it was the year of return, not just for the trophy, but also going back to Egypt to conquer and bring back the trophy, because it was a certain Dede Ayew who led the team, the satellites, to go and win it. So if you are there and you started, I mean, at Ismaila and all that, you should be able to come back. But for me, I think that it should have dawned on them now. They know that they don't make the names for us. For us as Ghanaians, we only revel in their glory. Yeah. We get sad about it.
They get the money.
But you were asking about what it does. I mean, it brings the spirit of the entire nation down. Because you realize that every time after a win, you wake up on a Monday morning and people are enthusiastic, people are hopeful, people are jubilant. But when we lose or we don't get the desired results, you realize that everybody's mood is affected.
It's anger.
We saw it in the opening game against Benin. Saturday, after the performance against Cameroon, people thought that we were going to be massacred by the Cameroonians because of what had happened, because of what they had brought. Yeah. But I think that when we had that goalless draw, on Sunday people went and they were hopeful. We want to maintain that hope. Yeah. How do we do it? It is entirely up to Kwesi Appiah and his men. He should get them to deliver. For us, all we need, I always say that, look, as a sports journalist, I feel proud talking and writing about my team, other than talking and writing about other people are performing, and we do it. In Equatorial Guinea, I was there. 2015, I was there. When we got all the way to the final, and you could see the vibe, everybody was talking about it. When we lost, I was left by myself. Everybody had left. Those who had gone to jubilate had gone. Those who had finished with, and we were there. And the painful thing is for you to write about your side losing in that manner. And so for us, we also feel the pain. They don't just go through it psychological. Everybody is affected, and they would have to do well to ensure that, look, whatever the faint hope we have, the faith we have, like a mustard seed, should be nurtured and watered to become the big, hope we are all looking forward to.
It's the mentality, and I think we've not done orientation for national team players. We've not psyched them up well enough. I'm saying the body language is so bad, and it translates in our performance. It doesn't matter whether the DIU is hugging Asamajan.
What should it be? What should the body language be?
It's national service, number one. It's national service. You see, footballers should now consider themselves as entities. We've moved on as playing for points or for money. It's like Joy FM. I work here. We are criticized for stories done. We are criticized for headlines. We are criticized for interviews. Do we go out there also hitting back at people? Do we engage, like we want to prove anybody wrong? None of the players should should have it at the back of their mind that we want to prove you wrong. Don't prove us wrong. Prove yourself wrong. Because the credit comes to you. When you see yourself as a pro, now criticism is part of it. When results are bad, people are going to insult you. Some will praise you. So when you read those unsavory remarks, don't get downcast. You take it on a chin and you move on. And this is a national team. National service means that your situation is like somebody who has finished university or tertiary school, has been posted to a village and being paid. How much is he paid as national service? How much is the national service fee now? And he's not even living in a 5-star hotel. He's not being catered for. He's not getting winning bonus. He's renting his own money. He's using the national service fee to rent, and he is watching you. So when the results do not go that way, he shouts with anger, and he vents at the team. When national team players are made to go through this process, now they have a feel of how we feel as spectators back home, and how your performance can affect productivity, can affect marriage, can affect everything we do. No, it's true. I mean, these are the socio-cultural effects of the Black Stars winning. And when these boys still believe that national team is just national team, we come and we play and we go because we've not won the Nations Cup since 1982, so there's pressure on us. Why should we talk when we lose a game? No, you don't do that.
Let me activate the phone lines and just say that you can also join us with your views. We'll go on Facebook in a bit as well. So give us a call, 0302 211 6912. 0302 211 6912. Give us a quick call now. We'll talk about your predictions in terms of what should go into the. I mean, we're all coaches, right? So just have your say on this. It's our game later today. But I wanted to ask, we have Stephen Appiah in the camp. We have Olele as well. Beyond a goalkeeper's trainer and other technical responsibilities, what are these guys supposed to give these young guys who are playing for us now?
They've seen it all. They've been there before, at least the World Cups, as well as the 2010 AFCON in Angola, where we lost painfully to Egypt by that last-minute goal. So they know what it takes. But one thing if there is anything that I would want them to have at the back of their mind, at least now the Ayew is the captain. In 2015, Abraham Grant told them something. When you get onto the pitch, put yourself in the shoes of the fans, of the Ghanaian fans, expectant of a good performance. If you understand what the fans are going through, it would probably also inspire you to deliver, because if you were, then you would understand and give up and add to it. So for me, I think that it is important that the day is still there. Samajan is there, Jordan is there, Boy is there, Jonathan Mensah, all of them are there, Fiyakwa, all of them. So they should have that at the back of their mind and say that, look, it's not just us, because like Ridwan earlier alluded to, they are also playing for certain issues. I mean, for personally, some of them would want to impress their coaches. Some of them would have want to say, look, you have kept me on the bench, see what my nation believed in me and see what I came up with. Others would want to have a better bargaining power, because maybe they are not being paid well. This will be the opportunity for them to say, look, I went and played for my nation, this is what I've done, so you either pay me well or I leave. So all these things are the dynamics. But for me, ultimately, it has to be the fact that you are wearing the Ghana colors. You are representing the nation. Because Percy Appiah told us, he gives everybody the chance, but he makes the final selection. So you are privileged to be among the chosen 23. It is your time to ensure that you justify why you have been called up into that team.
Great, let's go to the phone lines. Dawood and Enes. I'll speak to Dawood first. Dawood, good morning. You're calling from where?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your call. Let's hear you. Your thoughts on this game?
I want to thank you and your panelists for the good work that you are doing for Mother Ghana this morning. In fact, all what they are saying is true, because some of us, when they lose, it's very difficult to even eat. So what we do is you even eat before the match, because after the match, if you even drop, I even feel that it's a lose. But as so many people are saying, it's not over yet. We can beat them, but the thing is, we shouldn't underrate them. And I said, like what that Ridwan said, the players don't have to go to social media, because social media, it's not everybody who likes you. They can just go in there just to frustrate you. Believe you me, some people don't even want Ghana to. Some people want Ghana to even knock out, but they are Ghanaians, and that's maybe they don't support Ghana. It's a football, so we are praying they shouldn't let social media to be part of them. They should just be of themselves and play the ball. Party, but we are begging, like what Ridwan said. You know, we are not sure whether that's the party that we know in Champions League, in Europa, and when they are playing his match. So, and they are the kind of people that we rely that when we say, oh, we can win the cup. But if they are underperforming like this, it gives some of us, look, when you go to workplace, you can't work. When you come home, you can't eat. So, everywhere, if you want any TV, Black Stars, even everything is even bring low productivity to the country as well. So we are begging them, 30 million Ghanaians, we are begging them that they should try.
All right, Dawood, just a word of caution. The game is at 4, so please eat early. Let's move on to Ernest Safo. Anything can happen. Ernest is calling from Takrady. Ernest, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Let's hear your thoughts on the game.
Yes, please. I think we shouldn't be putting much pressure on the coach. Yes, I believe he has an explanation for everything he does. So we shouldn't be saying he should start this player, he should bench this player. I mean, he's the one doing his job. So we shouldn't put pressure on him. Otherwise, he becomes frustrated, you know. And in this AFCON too, no team is to be underestimated. So you can't just say we have to win against Guinea-Bissau. No team is to be underestimated here. I mean, because Madagascar, even playing their first AFCON, appearing in their first AFCON, even scored 4 goals. So we shouldn't underestimate anything and shouldn't put much pressure on the coach.
Can we win this game today, though?
Yes, I think we will win. We shall win.
Okay. Yes. All right. I like the introduction of the shall. Thank you, Ernest. Let's speak to Kweku Nkrumah, who is in North Jolo. Kweku, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. Let's hear your thoughts.
And to your guest, yes, funny now, I still believe in the Black Stars. It's so funny, but I believe they'll go to the final. And interestingly, they'll win the trophy.
Yeah?
I'm not supporting them 100%, but I don't know how they find it.
So where is this feeling coming from?
I don't know, but I just feel like they'll just do it.
Yeah?
Because the whole nation is not in support of them, quote unquote. Like, okay, they don't have a team, we don't have a team, and blah, blah, blah. But this is when they are going to surprise the entire nation.
Okay.
I strongly believe so. Yeah.
All right. Shall we talk tomorrow then?
Sure.
Okay. Kweku Nkrumah from North Jolo. I would expect a call tomorrow morning, God willing. Shaibu Amidu is in Obuase. Good morning, Shaibu.
Good morning. Good morning. I like what your parents are doing. They are doing a very good propaganda. Hey, hello?
Yes, Shaibu, you're on air. We can hear you.
Today is the masking for Ghana.
Okay.
No, get the masking. And then we should, especially for the social media, what we are doing is not the best. Any product talk can just get up and talk. So the players, who need support from us, we shouldn't be just be giving them low morale, no fun. And then I expect Moja to come and play after that activity, or Jonas to come after. That's much.
Okay. Scoreline predictions?
2-0.
Okay. Against Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah, against
Yeah, obviously. Okay, thank you, Shaibu. Let's speak to Abdul Kadir. That will be the last call. You're calling from Aflao. Abdul, good morning.
Mama be like a phone.
Ma phone you have phone.
You
OC.
Mama be what has happened to Africa Samba known to Ghana Blaster? You were known to the.
Hello, Abdul. Hello.
Yeah, Mama B.
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
I want to know what has happened to Africa Samba because Blaster is known to play Brazilian soccer, but of late we don't see that thing again. What has happened to it?
Oh, what has happened to African soccer?
Yeah, African soccer.
In terms of the style of play.
Yeah.
Okay, please let me ask you because this is very technical for me.
Well, for me, I think that's what is the African Samba? Putting the ball on the turf and making sure that you are able to go past and keeping the ball within the team and moving into playing to a certain format so that what we have seen of them in the past, I don't think that has changed. But unfortunately, it depends on who you are going to face. If you have an opponent that is also has pace, that have players who are intelligent on the flanks, then you may have to vary it. For us, it has always, the African style, or samba as he calls it, have always worked for us because we don't usually have tall players who can rely on long balls and all that. But if you are able to work your way through, it hasn't changed. We haven't changed, just that we haven't really exhibited it so obviously in this competition.
I think we haven't modernized it. That's the I guess that's where you're going.
Yes.
Because what happened to the original Sambas themselves, Brazil? When was the last time Brazil won?
Yes.
You know, anything at the World Cup? I mean, they've been to the last 3 or 4 World Cups, 3 World Cups, and still
haven't been able
after
to.
After 2002,
they haven't.
2006, they were eliminated. 2010, even 2014, when they hosted in their own backyard, they were embarrassed 7-1 by Germany. And then
where we shot our movie.
Yeah, yes. And then in 2018, Brazil, so 4 World Cups, Brazil themselves have struggled because they're also refusing to do the basics. And we have failed to modernize whatever we had by taking football to another notch. See, now Madagascar, they are playing for the badge. They are playing, there's nothing like money. The politicians haven't destroyed the national team. What we have in Ghana, in Nigeria, is when the politicians entered, they destroyed the national team. And our case is a typical example. The Green Book of the NDC contains achievements of the Black Stars. For me, it shouldn't be there. The MPP boasted with the Black Stars going to the World Cup. It was under our reign we went to the first World Cup.
Yeah.
Bonuses, appearance fee, everybody supporting the national teams. When presidents and politicians will stop using the Black Stars as a tool for campaigning and canvassing for votes, we'll see real people playing for the badge and not playing for the politicians. Why should the president intervene?
Unfortunately, Mama, I don't agree with him. I mean, since the inception of the African Union, presidents have used sports, particularly football, to harness and garner support for what they do. And
they were like patrons, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying is that now,
use it,
more crucially, it has also become, it has, I mean, even though people will not, you not see them directly interfering, it has also become one of the ways to express and gain support. Otherwise, when the World Cups are going on, you will not see the German Angela Merkel there. You will not see, look at the Croatian Prime Minister. I mean, during the World Cup. I mean, so.
But I guess what's Redwan is
But what I'm saying is, we shouldn't politicize.
Should we win this?
We should.
I bet we will see the president on a political platform saying it was under my presidency.
Mama, that is why I'm saying that it is the over-politicization of it that makes some of us get a bit upset.
Okay.
Because it's the Black Stars and just the Black Stars. What about the other national teams? And we have even complained that we go for the State of the Nation addresses, and it is only the Black Stars.
Yeah.
Others are not mentioned.
We have a fantastic Black Queens. So we hosted a game.
For me,
we could have done better than we did.
I always say that, look, I have raised those issues. That where was our president and the first lady when we were even hosting the women's AFCON? We didn't see those things. So for some of us, if we want to be emotional and personal, we will not even support the Black Stars.
That's why the Black Stars will flex their muscles when they are playing.
But for me, beyond that, I think that it is still the national colors.
No. How many? What's the contingent? How many people are?
We don't know.
In Egypt.
Well, you said we shouldn't know some of these things.
I'm saying it sarcastically. Listen, we shouldn't know because we don't have to know, but we will get to know. See, when the Black Queens were playing at the championship, we didn't get a nationwide drive.
No.
We're expecting, the first lady to lead that campaign, the drive to be on. I remember a funny case that happened when you girls qualified for the 1999 World Cup, the first national team to do that. What was the drive? They went to Makola for Kitwebi and Swa.
We went round.
Collecting monies.
Yes.
To help the team in 1999.
You see,
and in 2006, when we qualified, what happened? Sponsors came on board. Yeah. You see, we have bastardized the Black Stars.
But I guess that this conversation in terms of the women's game and the men's game goes even beyond Ghana.
It's the principle. I'm not saying.
I think that for me, I always say that I don't like to compare.
It's not about
because
comparing.
They are two dynamics. But what I'm saying is that what is good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Absolutely.
Because we are asking, I mean, whatever support you would give to the Black Stars. Give same to the Black Queens.
Yeah.
Give same to other national teams, the athletics team and all that. So that together, because it's just like Mama having 4 children in the home. And then you have one who is so intelligent that, look, every time he's topping the class. Then you have some who are not too good. Not because they don't want to, but because they haven't been given the resources to be able to get up, to match up with the best child. And yet you continue to shower more resources on the one who you think would be your doctor. I mean, those times, my doctor, my lawyer, and all that. I want to be a journalist. And because I am not getting all the straight A's, you think that, oh, there is nothing good to come from me. Naturally, in a way, you're even creating some kind of jealousy between me and my brother or my sibling. And that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
For me, what I'm saying is that, Mama, we should pray that the Black Stars deliver and bring the cup.
Okay.
If not.
Otherwise, if they don't, it is not the media that is going to do that. The people who are sitting on tentacles, people who have been upset. I mean, and unfortunately, that is the reality. We don't have anybody who would be a rallying force to rally everybody around things for a national cause. We have so politicized everything that sometimes it is nauseating.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing that. And so our prayer is that for us to have the peace, for us to have the hope, for us to have that calmness, the Black Stars should win.
Can you give us a prediction just before we run off? We have to go.
I don't predict, but I think the Black Stars will still win.
Okay. Red one?
The Black Stars will qualify.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
With the draw?
I will qualify.
All right.